A warm welcome to one and all. Today let's discuss about public health and economic aspects of open storage. Myself Dr. V. Godwin Sharmila, Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. We all know what is open storage. Open storage is open dumping of waste as such. This is nothing, it's usually done at the most of the cities. We know the waste has been collected often per once in a day. Okay. Well, in case of highly density populated areas, for example, the source of generation of waste may vary based on the locality and based on the societal interference to the environment. For example, in case of small retail shops, in case of fish market, vegetable markets, meat shop, hotel, restaurants, and urban area. In this, the storage of the waste has been provided. Storage of waste storage container has been provided for carrying the limited amount of waste supply. But the generation of waste at this point of shop or the locality or this kind of market is varies based on the people who are or the consumer who are entering for purchasing the product. So based on their level of purchase, based on the level of consumption of foods in the hotel, based on the level of people surveying in the urban areas, the generation of the waste has been increased. But the storage container that was placed for the collection of these waste from these sectors was very limited. So this may lead to the excess generation of waste and also over dumping of waste into the container, and this heavy dumping may lead to the unwanted generation of the environmental impacts. So the frequency of collection and the frequency of transportation of waste to the transfer station was also not satisfactory. Hence, this leads to the excess consumption of the container for waste collection, excess people for the excess people or excess frequency of collection, and excess equipments to be provided for the collection system, which may affect the public interferences, which may also affect the transportation traffics, and also affects the generation of the waste and also causes the excess health impact too. Hence, proper method or service needs to be provided, or the proper accessibility of the source of waste generation based on the waste production must be taken to be consideration. So many type of container has been provided and are utilized by the local body, and which does not matches to the transportation system which was existing to the present scenario. Due to the manual handling of waste also may affect the cost of collection system too. Another failure of solid waste management in an efficient way is fund restriction, because the financial constraints are mainly available for the proper management of the waste, so which may affect the efficient way of handling the waste in a treatment method. So this leads to the excess consumption of money, which may affect the proper management of the waste at the last stage. Mainly in the cities like Mumbai, Delhi, they are spending lot and huge amount of money, nearly about 10,479.3 million rupees for managing the waste in an efficient way. And also the large number of man-force is required from the collection site to the disposal site. For example, collection crew member, proper handling of the handling members, proper storage purpose for handling the waste in the collection vehicle, and also huge number of man-force and the peoples are laborer are necessary for waste management process. So these laborers must be trained. Improper training has been provided means it may affect the proper way of managing the waste. Hence, they are generally has to be trained in a well manner, and proper information regarding the handling of the equipment and the usage and the maintenance of the equipment must be taught well to them, so that which may prevent their health infection during the handling of the waste, because improper handling or unhygienic way of interfering or collecting those waste may affect their health and causes serious impact. And also in the most of the city, lost of communicate bin has been placed, but not in a proper way, in an appropriate method. Mainly the waste and community bin must be placed based on their locality and the population condition. If it was not based on their total amount of the list of population, the generation of waste will be increases, and the community bin does not serve them in a proper way, which may affect the excess liberation of the waste generation, and also it was dumped as such without any proper storage system. Hence, this may causes the damaging of the community bin, and also which may leads to the generation of the bad odor, fly production, stray dog production, and also the unwanted foods are overwhelmed from the community bin, which may causes the severe health hazard too. And also the vehicle, the proper usage of the vehicle must be selected to collect those waste in an efficient way. Wrong vehicle selection and the collection frequency of collection period shortage may also affect the method of waste management. Inadequate transfer station points, the proper traffic system has to be considered to carry those waste to the spot of transfer station. These are all have a huge impact on the collection efficiency. Without any proper information regarding or the proper idea regarding the efficient management of these waste affects the collection waste collection rate, and also causes the inefficient method of transporting the waste to the transfer station. In the most of the urban center, the proper weight gauges was not provided during the collection unit, which may affect the vehicle while carrying the waste during the excess summer and the winter season. The health impact is a major concern to be considered during the handling of the waste. If the waste was not improperly handled, it may result into the development of the infectious and the chronic diseases, which may affect the workers' health, and also it may causes the skin and as well as the blood infection, since they are having contact directly with the waste, and also if they are having any wounds or such health infection, they get easily affected, and the eye and the respiratory infection also can be caused due to the heavy exposure of infected dust. Some of the case studies under the Indian conditions are discussed here. We all know in India the proper solid waste management is the major problem. For the past decade till now we are having issue in the efficient management of this waste. Hence, these issues must be considered and should be followed in an efficient method to treat this waste or dispose this waste in the safe manner. Usually the physical and the chemical characteristic of the waste which was generated shows about the waste are ideally useful for the generation of the biogas generation, since it consists of adequate nutrient. It has a moisture content of 50 to 55%. Carbon to nitrogen ratio is 25 to 40:1 ratio. So these are all the factors favors the proper management of the organic waste in an using an efficient technology, which may minimize the adverse health impact and environmental consequences. So the first, while we are seeing about the generation of the waste, nearly about 500 gram of waste has been generated per day by the per person. So even though the higher increment in the population may lead to higher contribution of the waste. Approximate estimation of the waste which was generated by the per person is 500 gram per day. On seeing the composition, nearly recycled waste while considering for the rate of generation of the waste for the past 3 decades, it was found that nearly the recycled waste has been increased from 9.56% to 17.18%. In case of garbages from the Indian city, the biodegradable waste contained 45 to 75% increment. These biodegradable waste contain 50 to 55% of moisture content, 35 to 45% of organic waste product, and 80 to 15% of non-organic material like plastic, metal, glass, stones, etc. So the material which was left out as waste by the Indians are mainly consist of high organic material and low inorganic component. These studies has been carried out for among 6 cities. On this, the Bangalore, about 75% waste has been generated, but in the Kolkata only 46% waste has been generated. On following the waste disposal methods, usually the waste management hierarchy cycle has been implemented. 90% of waste has been collected from the low-lying areas without any proper leachate collection or proper management in the landfill gas, and they are hence those waste has been collected and are treated in a treated in an efficient manner. Recycling. So these collected waste first initially gone for the recycling process. Here the recycling unit has been about 40 to 80% of plastic waste has been recycling in India day by day. Nearly 10 to 15% of the developed nations has been recycling the waste in an efficient manner. Due to the proper government policies, incentive, subsidy, regulation standard, these waste recycling has been minimized and it was now improved due to the usage of various technology and the various method of innovative ideas. So now due to the high profit of making venture, highly organized recycling units has been developed in the India to minimize the environmental impact and to enhance the recyclability of solid waste. Health impact. While considering the health impact, the waste usually disposed at the dump site. For example, nearly 95 workers was examined in the Mumbai city. Here, 80% of people are having eye problems, 73% respiratory problem, 51% gastrointestinal problem, and 27% of people having skin problem. These issues are all developed due to the improper disposal of waste management at since the waste are highly disposed in the Indian developing countries, mainly in India at the as dumping process. So this may affect this type of affects the health condition by causing this type of health impact. Then environment. In addition to the health impact, various environmental issues are also be generated into the India. For example, the contaminated leachate and the surface runoff from the disposal site may affect the groundwater quality as well as the surface water quality. Thank you.